Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a Kinder Surprise egg house. Because why not? Here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Let's get started. Begin by placing 6 orange concrete in a row on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Extend up by 1, right by 2, 1, 2, up 1, right 1, and then up by 3, 1, 2, 3. Place 4 white concrete on top, 1, 2, 3, 4. Followed by 4 brown concrete, 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend left 1, up 2, left 1, up 1, left 1, up 1, and then left by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1, down 2, left 1, and then down 3. 1, 2, 3. Place 4 white concrete extending down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then place 4 orange concrete extending down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend right, down, right 2. Next, we are going to place a mixed layer of orange, white, and brown concrete along the inside of the shape of our egg. As you can see, the blocks connect together in the corners, one row outwards from the outline, and to determine which block we are going to place, we simply want to match it to the outer layer. So what we will want to have is something that should look like this. Next, we are going to add a final layer to this, starting with this orange concrete right here. We place a single orange concrete in front of and to the right of this, with 2 white concrete extending right, 2 orange right of that, 2 white right of that, and then an orange. We then want to fill underneath this in using orange concrete, covering up any empty space that we would otherwise have. And then we are going to fill on top of this with white concrete extending all the way up to this position right here. So I want you to notice that this is 1 row higher than the brown concrete area, and then we are going to add an additional layer of brown concrete just to completely fill up any remaining empty space. With the back of our egg complete, we can now move on to the sides. So begin by placing 2 white concrete specifically in front of this orange concrete. 1, 2. We then want to place 2 orange concrete. 1, 2. 2 white. 1, 2. And then an orange. On top of this, we are going to stack rows of white concrete until we reach this position. At this point, we will place a brown concrete here on the end, white concrete in between, and that will give us this. We want to repeat this onto the opposite side. So all the way here, we place 2 white concrete, 1, 2, 2 orange, 1, 2, 2 white, 1, 2, and then an orange. We then place rows of white concrete extending up on top of this to match the front, and then we place a brown concrete here on the end with white concrete in between, just like this. These are the only rows that are different from the sides. What I mean by this is that we are now able to fill everything underneath this area in with orange concrete. We can simply just extend every single one of the outer rows of orange concrete back to equal the length of the rows that we've just made. And then every row above this, we can extend backwards using brown concrete. In the exact same method, we will just extend every single one of the outer rows of the brown concrete backwards to match the length of all of the other rows. Eventually, we will end up with this. Next, we are going to copy exactly what we did on that side onto this side. So, that begins with placing a mixed layer of orange, white and brown concrete along the inside of the shape of our egg. Next, we are just going to add a final layer to seal everything up, starting with placing an orange concrete right here, with 2 white concrete to the right, 2 orange to the right, 2 white concrete, and then an orange. We will then stack rows of white concrete on top of this, extending all the way up until we are just 1 row higher than the brown layer. Then we want to fill the remaining area here in with brown. And we want to fill the lower area in with orange. Next, we are going to add the doors to our house. This is placed right here, a 2x2 square on the front of the egg. Let's add some oak doors and a walkway so we can get up. I'm using smooth quartz stairs for this, but I think the oak stairs could look nice as well. So now that we have our entrance, we can now enter inside of our egg, and I'm just going to add a layer of oak planks for the floor. So these just extend out from the doors all the way back, covering up any empty space that we would have. Along the inside of our egg, we are going to add a layer of smooth sandstone. So this is to replicate the chocolate that would be inside of the egg. And then inside of this, we will add a layer of yellow concrete, extending all the way along the inside of the sandstone, connecting together in the corners. You can see how these 2 rows are different. So, now that we have done this, we are going to come to the outside of our egg, and we are going to remove a portion of the top of it. So my recommendation is to start here and remove this row, extending left and here. So this is how much we are going to remove, kind of like in this plane. So we will extend all the way around to the right side of the egg, removing roughly a quarter of the egg at the top, so just like this, and it's kind of going to be broken off in a nice quarter chunk, just like this. Then we are going to remove a little from the side, so like here for instance, we'll remove a little bit, and maybe a little here as well. That's perfect. So the reason that I've done this is actually because it's really dark in here. Next, we want to add a layer of smooth sandstone all the way along the inside of our egg, from the bottom to the top. And now that we have done that, we are going to extend the yellow concrete area up as well. So we are going to extend this all the way up to the top because that does seem a little bit unnecessary, but we are going to extend this at the very least about halfway up, I would say. I would also say that this is kind of like a personal preference sort of thing, but I would like this to kind of be visible from the outside. If we've taken the time to add the smooth sandstone layer and to make this as realistic-ish as possible, I think that we should definitely be able to see the actual prize inside. So I'm thinking right about here. Up to maybe about this line, I think would be good. So I'm actually considering then we will add another layer of yellow concrete inside of this because we want to shape the top of this. And then we will add a final layer of yellow concrete just directly in the top of this. And let's take a look. Yeah, see, there we go. From the outside, we can actually see the prize inside. We can see the double layer of chocolate. That's really cool. And the only thing that I do want to do, just inside of the egg, before we continue, I think that we are just going to kind of like split this area a little bit. So we're going to have a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 here. And then we are going to add a layer of yellow concrete just along the inside of the roof, just like so. And then we are going to add a row of yellow concrete just to fill this in. Just like this. Fill the top in. And I'm just going to add some shroom light just into the top, like this. And I think that this is a much more manageable living space. Next, we have to write out the words Kinder Surprise in banners. Throw down a loom, open it up, place a white banner in there with black dye. First letter we have to make is K. This is the Pale Dexter pattern, followed by Bend, and then Bend Sinister. The next letter we have to make is I. This is made using orange dye, and we simply apply the Pale pattern. Next is N. We apply the Pale Dexter, Pale Sinister, and Bend pattern. Next is D. We apply the Pale Sinister, put white dye in there, lozenge, orange dye back in, chief, base, and then Pale Dexter. Next is E. So we make the chief, fess, base, and then Pale Dexter. Lastly, R. Pale Dexter, chief, bend. So there we have Kinder. Next, we want to write surprise. Our first letter is S and we make it using cyan dye. So we apply the chief pattern, base, and then bend. Next is U, which is yellow. So we then apply the Pale Dexter, Pale Sinister, and then base. Next, we have to make an orange R, but luckily we already have one, so instead we will move on to P, which is made using lime dye. We apply the Pale Sinister pattern, put white dye in there, per fess inverted, lime dye back in, fess, chief, and then Pale Dexter. Next is a cyan R, so we are going to place a white banner in there with cyan dye and apply the Pale Dexter, chief, and then bend. Next is going to be a yellow eye, so this is the pale pattern. Next is a magenta S, so this is chief, base, and bend. And lastly, we have to make a green E. So this is Pale Dexter, chief, fess, base. Now that we've made all of our banners, we can come all the way up to the top front of the egg and place the K, I, N, D, E, R here in this position. And then S, U, R, P, R, I, S, E directly underneath. Perfect. With the entire outside of the house complete, we can now head inside and work on the interior. First of all, we are going to place 2 bookshelves stacked on top of each other in this corner. Next to this, an oak slab, an upside down oak stairs to the right of this. We then want to stack up 2 oak planks next to this, with ladders against the planks. We then want to place a white bed above and in between the left and right sides of these rows. Then we are going to place a 1x1 painting here with a heavy weighted pressure plate in front, stone button to the right, oak slab here and here. We then want to place a double smooth quartz stairs here off to the right, and you can even add a seat in front of here as well, although I may not recommend it, as against this wall we are going to place note blocks here with black concrete on top, painting here, levers on top pointed outwards. We then place a smooth quartz stair here, scaffolding here, flower pot here, poppy here. On this opposite side, a yellow concrete with a brewing stand on top, furnace here, detector rail on top, couple of oak trapdoors here with flower pots on top, block of iron here, stone buttons here, and then we want to make a rug in the middle of the floor using a mixture of white and orange carpet. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, that is the entire house inside and out, 100% fully completed. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do remember to subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to watch any more of my videos, check out the Mini City Builds playlist. And if you would like to download every single build in this city, consider becoming a channel member. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.